The number one reason why people don't have good time management balance when they're working a 9 to 5 job and trying to grow their business is because they have too many things on their plate that's never going to bring them a client. The only things that are actually adding to my bottom line are content, sales calls, that's it. I cut everything else out. I do not believe if you have a side hustle that you have to burn the candle at both ends. I think you can work your 9 to 5 job, grow your business, and also maintain a personal life if you do this proven framework. I used to be a social worker making $2,500 a month. Now I have $1 million business as an online coach and consultant. And I used to think the only way I could possibly be successful is if I was working my 9 to 5 job and then burning the candle at both ends and just absolutely destroying my mental health, trying to post, trying to edit my content, trying to get clients, trying to be visible, trying to do all these things while also working my 9 to 5 job. But I quickly realized, number one, you're not going to make money this way. Number two, it's not sustainable. And if you want to be a full-time entrepreneur in the long run, you cannot build a business in an unsustainable way, because once you quit your job, it'll be 5 times worse. So here's what I did instead. It's called the one thing method, where I would do one thing in the morning and then one thing in the evening. That's it. So my calendar looked a lot like this, where I was creating content in the morning, so doing podcasts, creating Instagram stories, creating graphics, writing up my captions before I went to my 9 to 5 job, so that my marketing was done, my content was done. I knew I was getting visible for the day. I would also record videos and then save them on my phone, and then during my lunch break, back when my account was more active versus at like 6 o'clock in the morning, I would then post those videos so it looked like I was still on even though I was at my 9 to 5 job. So I would create my content in the morning, and then I would do my sales calls and my coaching calls in the evening. So if I had clients, I would do 45-minute coaching calls with them, and I would do one at 7 and then one at 8. So I still had time to come home, relax a little bit, have dinner with my fiance, now husband, and then I'll get right into work. And then I'll also have time to do a little bit of self-care and head to bed and do it all over again. From the marketing I would do earlier in the day, people would book a sales call if they were interested to learn more about my coaching consulting offer, and then we would have my sales calls in the evenings. So I did content in the morning and then calls in the evening, and that was it. I did this method because I realized that it was way easier for me to have ideas, for me to be creative, for me to be more artistic with my content in the morning before my day started. And then the evening, when I didn't have as much creativity, I just had to answer my clients' questions on our calls or on our sales calls, and that was it. Now, this schedule was able to help me create $300,000 with a 9 to 5 job. You heard that correctly, $300,000 with a 9 to 5 job without working on the weekends, without burning myself out, because I stuck to this one thing method. And some other things that helped me make sure I stayed with the schedule was I did it even if I didn't feel like doing it. So wake up an hour earlier than what I would have had to wake up to go to my 9 to 5 job. I would like muscle over with a cup of tea to my desk, and I would just create content, and I did it even if I didn't feel like it. And even if I thought the post wasn't the best, or even if I didn't have the best idea that day, I still scheduled it out. I still saved it on my phone and posted it on my lunch break. I still showed up even if it wasn't perfect. I also didn't distract myself with a ton of different strategies. So I wasn't trying to do a lead magnet and do a funnel and do a webinar. I kept it super easy. I would just post content, and I would tell people to book a sales call with me, and then that's how I would sign clients. The number one reason why people don't have good time management balance when they're working a 9 to 5 job and trying to grow their business is because they have too many things on their plate that's never going to bring them a client. It's never going to bring them a sale. So once I realized the only things that are actually adding to my bottom line are content, sales calls, that's it. I cut everything else out. I wasn't trying to create tripwires. I wasn't trying to create all these mini courses. I stuck with one-on-one coaching, and I was able to implement that very simple schedule. What I loved about the schedule too was I had my weekends off. And so I was able to fully decompress both from my business and my 9 to 5 job. And I was able to recharge, spend time with my family, spend time with my friends, do things I love, and pour back into myself. And then that Monday through Friday, that's where I would work again. again. I remember a time where I was building my business on the weekends and I was completely drained. I remember I locked myself in my little apartment office from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday working on my business, and it was a complete disaster. I created this course that ended up not making any money because I was not doing what I needed to do. I was distracting myself. And then when I went into work on Monday morning, I had these massive bags under my eyes. And my boss literally like walked past my cubicle and then did another take and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Sure am," when I was literally dying inside. And then that's when I realized I can't keep doing this. I had to create the schedule, which is the one thing method. So don't think you need to do the Pomodoro method or you need to do all these color blocking techniques or you need another planner. Oh my gosh, you do not need another planner. I promise you, as somebody who loves them myself, you don't need another planner. You need to cut back on the things that actually aren't bringing you money. You need to do more of the things that are bringing you money, and you need to show up when it's blocked off on your calendar, even if you don't want to do it. So you can build a business on part-time hours. I was able to do it. So many of my other clients have been able to do it, and I know that you can do it too. Subscribe to this video and I'll see you in the next one.